Oh, everyone, what a win. What a win. I'm so happy. And I might not show it throughout this next match report because I'm ill. I was meant to be with AFTV today. And I couldn't get myself out of my apartment and out of bed to do it. So I just watched it on a sofa bed. And it did nothing for my nerves and the shakes, especially like the last 20 minutes. But what a performance from Arsenal. What a win. It's 3 wins in a row at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's a massive 3 points, especially after the draw at home to Brighton. It's a reminder to everyone who's really stressing in the week, and that was kind of the main message that Sharoy and Gunnar were trying to get across with me in the podcast, that all this doom and gloom about signings and our squad and it being depleted and injuries, we forgot we have a really, really, really good team. And actually so much of our success in recent years is owed so much down to our system and our tactics and our commitment. And that's what you saw today. Did Arsenal outplay Spurs? No. Did they... what else is there to really say apart from outplaying them? I mean, we didn't do that, but we certainly outthought them. And tactically, we did what everyone predicted we were going to do. And maybe Ange Postecoglou predicted it too, but he just, for some reason, doesn't ever want to put forward an answer to it. We're going to go through the match. Sorry, I'm sort of taking deep breaths as I go through this. I'm very hot and sweaty. Like I said, not feeling all that well, but that has certainly cheered me up. If you're feeling under the weather, watch that game if you're an Arsenal fan. Let's go through the game, like what happened, sort of incident for incident. I mean, basically, we got Partey and Jorginho, which we expected, as the sort of pivot, and we knew that we basically called it a 4-3-3, called it a 4-2-3-1. The point is, out of possession, we're a 4-4-2. But what we do sometimes when we have to get really deep and track runners is allow a Saka to run all the way back and make it a back 5. Partey to even drop into the defence and make it a back 5 or a back 6. We have, the likes of Havertz and Trossard basically playing in midfield positions. We almost sometimes play without an outlet to make sure that we've got the bodies back, we're tracking the runners, because Tottenham do a really good job getting lots of movement, lots of rotations, lots of players, with the likes of Porro, Doggy, their wingers going inside, outside, 2 10s they had with Maddison, Kulusevski, and we shut down every attacking threat they had so well. Now, the first 20 minutes, sorry, I skipped over the 11 quickly. So we went with Trossard and Havertz as the front two, as I kind of alluded to there, which... I thought he'd go for Jesus if he were fit and Havertz in midfield. It was good to see that he stuck to what he told me in the press conference, which is he doesn't want to make too many changes to one position, and he stuck with Havertz up front. I thought Havertz was immense. We'll go into the players independently in a little bit. I thought Havertz was absolutely fantastic today. And Trossard had a bit of an indifferent game, but it was those two who had to try and conjure something in central attacking areas to try and get us some territory, some ground. We did a lot defending. Now, first 20 minutes, let's be honest, they could have had a goal. Solanke did really well with the header to put it just wide. There was another shot that Saliba did really well to chase down after Ben White gave the ball away. I didn't think Ben White was great on the day. And they were just generally getting into dangerous areas, but the stand-up defending, like we weren't always throwing our bodies to the floor, but the stand-up defending from Gabriel and Saliba all game was unbelievable. Saliba did a lot of that game on a yellow card, and I have to say, when you look at what I thought was a very harsh yellow card, not just for him, but for a lot of Tottenham players as well, I thought the referee was trying to keep control of the game by basically brandishing the yellows quite quickly. I thought a lot of them were actually really harsh. Timbers was never a red. I mean, quite frankly, I think he's got the ball and he's just slightly caught a bit of Porro. I'm not even sure it's a yellow, but anyway. But first, after managing the first 20 minutes, we then go into a little bit of a spell of Martinelli gets in behind. He probably should score. Havertz has a few headers that I think he did well with those kind of half chances. I wouldn't say I expected him to score, but he did okay. And generally, it did okay with the chance. I mean, his overall performance was really good. And then we go into half-time thinking 0-0, 1-1 might have been sort of fair and there's much in it. Now, I think Arsenal absolutely deserved the win on that second half. And why is that? Not because we had way more shots or we were dominating and we were sort of, peppering their goal, but because we understood the assignment. Stop them. We are going to create something. And we had a few set pieces that, what's his name? Vicario flapped at, and Gary Neville on commentary was hilarious, sort of saying that this guy doesn't have a clue what he's doing at the moment from these corners. And after a short corner went wrong in the first half, in the second half we put it into the box. And there was Gabriel to blast it into the roof of the net, as he's done in so many big games. Think away at Stamford Bridge when we won 1-0. He got the big goal from a set piece, didn't he? Think Anfield when he scored again a goal from a set piece to put us 1-0 up. He gets big goals, Gabriel Magalhaes. But for me, he's my man of the match because he's defending everything. Defending the box, defending wide areas, his duels, everything. He was absolutely immaculate. What a performance. And I have to say this. And for anyone who just thinks I'm being tribal and trying to wind up Spurs fans, you know that's not my style, you know that's not what I do. But don't you ever put Romero in a combined 11 ever again. The Van de Ven debate, because of his raw pace, I thought Van de Ven was good today. You know what, Tottenham fans can have that debate, but I'm still always going Gabriel. But don't you dare ever put Romero in this debate, because I'm not saying he's a bad player. He had some good moments in this game. But he got absolutely bullied by Gabriel on the goal. That's the third goal he's cost them. If you want to know the other two, on my preview, when I talked about how we could beat them, Romero at fault, poor positioning, and really weak on some of the defending for the Leicester goal that Vardy scored against them, and the Isak goal as well that got Newcastle the win there. And it was good to see Gabriel, you know, after all the debates we've had this week, going, let me show you all who belongs in this combined 11 if we're going to even entertain that kind of nonsense. And it's Gabriel. He was absolutely immense. He's the best defender and best player on the pitch, quite frankly. But second half, you know, we get that goal and we're kind of weathering the storm. The reality is that Spurs were resorting to shots from distance. Kulusevski with a good one quite late in the game. But they didn't do much, you know, in that second half. First half, I think they could have felt that they were sort of worthy of a goal or what's the word? Yeah, that they probably sort of deserved a goal, but I think we could have said the same. Second half was just a smash and grab. It was a great away performance. And look, sometimes you can put that performance in, not get the goal from the set piece, and after think, did we leave it all out there? Did we really, really have a go? But while Arsenal fans want to mock Tottenham, I know I've just said my piece on Romero, I don't think you can disrespect this side in terms of the attacking football they play, the amount of bodies they commit forward, how difficult it can be to defend them. And I think you commit much more going forward, especially when you don't have Marino, Rice and Ødegaard, then, you know, you're at risk of leaving yourselves really open and them just having the numbers to pick you off. So ultimately, I think Arsenal's game plan was spot on. It was perfect. And you know what makes it so funny? Tottenham fans will be tearing their hair out because it was so obvious. Like, what our best chances came from running in behind, and we scored from a set piece. Now, I warned people that they could be dangerous from set pieces, but we defended ours brilliantly. Just a couple mention on players. I thought Jorginho, Partey, Trossard all had good moments and all had weak moments. I think they ultimately had to have had a good game to go to Tottenham and win. So, you know, credit to them in the midfield. They worked their absolute A off. Martinelli and Saka didn't have the performances they would have wanted going forward, but my word, the work rate is unbelievable. Does a team work harder in the league? I don't know. I think we were unbelievable in terms of our work rate and our commitment. I think Alex, different knock, I think he tweeted something about, like, is there a team that buys into their kind of process and the work ethic and the commitment to the cause more than Arsenal's players? I don't know. And then Gary Neville said on commentary that from an individual perspective, the Arsenal players were phenomenal. Kai Havertz led the line phenomenally in terms of his work rate, but his hold-up play was brilliant. His touch took him into the right areas, picking the right passes, running the channels, and then just working so hard off the ball. I thought Kai Havertz was immense. I mean, he was up there for one of my better players for sure. But Gabriel gets man of the match. Timber was utterly superb as well. What a footballer he is. On the ball, off the ball, immaculate, immense. But Gabriel, Saliba on that yellow. But how cool is Saliba in possession? I thought one of the weaker performances was actually Ben White. I thought he struggled today on and off the ball. I mean, I thought he did okay defensively. But it wasn't his best game. But look, what a massive win. And I think this is just a message to Arsenal fans, right? We could go next week to the Etihad, we could lose, and, you know, we're 5 points behind, and a lot of the frustrations that people have will kind of still feel a bit relevant. And I never batted off the frustrations that Arsenal fans had during this international break in terms of injuries, depleted squad or whatever. But the point I really wanted to make to everyone was we have a derby to win. We still have good enough players to win it. We need to be fueling our team a little bit more, right? Like we just feel so sapped of any belief here. And we I think, reminded people that, again, like I said at the beginning of this video, so much of what we do well is down to our structure, our work rate, our commitment, the great manager we have, and players who all buy into it. And that's why you can't just pick up a player for the sake of it, because if they don't buy into everything we do there, then the whole thing can fall apart. And our ability to defend as a back six with a 4 in front, as a back 5, as a 4 with a 4-2-4 press, whatever it might be, a 4-5-1 in midfield, whatever it is we do, every player knows their role. And yeah, it was brilliant to see. Sterling got a debut. He did okay. He had nothing else to do. He just had to track runners, didn't he? Jesus did okay. And one area I thought actually had the most action of the subs, and I actually thought he looked quite accomplished on the ball. So good on him. All right, there. We'll leave the match report there, everyone. I want to get back to bed. Go check out all the fan cams on AFTV, of course. And I should be all right for tactical insight on AFTV tomorrow. Catch you on a bit. Well done, Arsenal. What a win.